Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most powerful and maybe one of the most intimidating tools in n8n, the HTTP node. We're going to figure out how you can use this thing to connect your workflows to, well, pretty much anything on the internet. So picture this. You're building this awesome workflow. Everything's going great. And then you hit a wall. You need to connect to some service, maybe a custom tool your company uses, but there's no dedicated n8n node for it. It's super frustrating, right? But what if I told you there's a kind of master key that can unlock almost all of those doors? Well, here it is, the HTTP node. Honestly, don't think of it as just another node. Think of it as your gateway to the entire web. This is the secret weapon that takes n8n from being a great automation tool to a truly limitless one. To really get why this thing is so powerful, we have to look at what it is at its core. It's not just another block in your workflow, it's the fundamental bridge that can connect everything else. Basically, the HTTP node is like a web browser for your automation. It can talk to almost any online service, any website, any API, even if there's no pre-built n8n app for it. It's literally a universal connector, letting you build bridges where none existed before. So, how does this universal connector actually, communicate? It speaks the basic language of the internet, HTTP. And look, I know that sounds super technical, but trust me, it's really just a standard way for computers to talk to each other, and it's way simpler than you might think. It all boils down to a really simple two-step dance. Your workflow, using the HTTP node, sends out a request. That's you asking a question or telling a server to do something. Then the server on the other end processes that request and sends back a response. And that response has the info you asked for, or maybe just a confirmation that your command worked. Simple as that. Okay, so if we're sending out these requests, what can we actually say? What are the commands we can use? Let's break down the 5 core types of requests in your toolkit. Getting a handle on these is the real key to unlocking everything the HTTP node can do. First up, we've got the GET request. This is by far the most common one you'll use. You use it when you just want to get or ask for some information. Think of it as a read-only command. You're not changing anything, you're just fetching data that's already there, like getting today's weather or looking up a customer's details. Next is the POST request. You use POST when you want to add new information to a service. You're creating something new from scratch. Every time you fill out a contact form online or create a new user account, you're almost certainly sending a POST request in the background. Okay, but what if you need to update something that's already there? That's where PUT comes in. A PUT request is used to completely replace a piece of data. It's a total overhaul. So if you want to update a user's name, email, and address all at the same time, you'd use PUT to send the whole new profile over. But hey, what if you don't want to replace the whole thing? What if you just want to make one tiny little change? Well, that's the perfect job for a patch request. It's like a surgical update. Instead of replacing the entire profile, you can use patch to change just the email address, leaving everything else untouched. It's super efficient and precise. And finally, we've got the simplest, most direct command of all, delete. And yeah, its purpose is exactly what it sounds like. It's for throwing away data. When your workflow needs to remove a user from your system or delete an old file, the delete request is the tool for the job. Okay, so let's put it all together. This table right here is basically your cheat sheet. Get is for asking. Post is for adding new stuff. Put replaces the whole thing. Patch changes just one part. And delete, well, it throws it away. The most important thing is just matching what you want to do with the right command. This table is your go-to guide for that. All right, that's enough theory. Let's see how this all comes together in the real world. We're going to walk through 2 super practical examples that show just how powerful these simple commands can be. Let's start with a simple one. Say you want your n8n workflow to send you a weather update every morning. First, your workflow needs that info, so it uses the HTTP node to send a GET request to a weather API, basically asking, hey, what's the weather in New York? The API then sends back a response with the temperature. And boom, your workflow can grab that data and send you a custom message, totally automated. Now let's try a different command. Imagine a new customer places an order on your website. Your workflow can be triggered by that event. It then immediately uses the HTTP node to send a POST request to your team's Slack channel. Tucked inside that request is the message text, like, hey team, new order from customer X. Your team gets notified instantly, and you didn't have to lift a finger. That's the power of adding data with POST. So there you have it. We've seen what the HTTP node is, we've learned the language it speaks, and we've gone over the core commands it uses. We've gone from theory to practice. So really, the only question left is, what are you going to build with this? And this is what I really want you to take away from all this. The HTTP node isn't just another feature. It completely changes the game. It gets rid of the boundaries between different services. With this one node, you're no longer stuck with just a list of pre-built integrations. You have the power to connect to almost anything. The entire internet becomes your automation playground. So, I'll leave you with this. You now understand the 5 basic commands that move information all across the web. You have the master key. You can connect your automations to a whole universe of new services and possibilities. The only question is, what door are you going to unlock first?